Hello everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So the case that I have for you guys today is yet another case of someone's life being taken completely unexpectedly for absolutely no reason and completely out of the blue. I did want to go ahead and say thank you to Michael from Patreon for suggesting this video to me. I also wanted to go ahead and say a huge thank you to today's sponsor, GlassesUSA.com. If you're anything like me, then you know how expensive it can be and how much of a hassle it can be to get your eyeglasses directly from your eye doctor. However, GlassesUSA.com now makes it so much easier and so much more affordable. By cutting out the middleman, GlassesUSA.com offers prescription eyeglasses up to 70% off of retail prices. You can now shop for your eyeglasses online without ever leaving your home, all at affordable prices. GlassesUSA.com offers over 4,000 styles of glasses and sunglasses, including in-home brands like Audido, which is the glasses that I'm wearing right now, and then Amelia E in their black color, which is what these ones are. These are some of my favorites. And then the same Amelia E frame in a brownish color, because this color just really nice, and it's nice to have different colors to go with different things that I'm wearing. And I also have a pair of Amelia E sunglasses, which is what these are. They also have designer brands like Ray-Ban, Gucci, Oakley, and so many more. You can find any style and color that you can imagine, as well as specialty glasses like safety glasses, kids glasses, sports glasses, and so many more. Also, with GlassesUSA.com, you can add any prescription to almost any pair of frames, including blue light blocking glasses and sunglasses. They also have this really cool try-on feature where you put in a picture of yourself to see how the glasses will actually look on you before you spend the money and the time to buy them, which is really helpful when you aren't quite sure exactly what style suits you best. The best part is the price point. A complete pair of glasses starts at only $30, and free basic prescription lenses are included with every frame. It's so easy. All you do is go online, put in your prescription, place your order, and then that's it. You're done. You just get to chill at home and wait for your glasses to be delivered right to your front door. Standard shipping is free on all orders, no matter how much you spend. And if for whatever reason you aren't happy with your order, you have 14 days to return it for an exchange, a refund, or 100% store credit. Absolutely no hassle and no questions asked. The exciting news is that by clicking the link in my description box below, my subscribers can get up to 65% off of their first order. That's such an amazing deal considering that their glasses are already so affordable. And if you like the glasses that I'm wearing right now or any of the other glasses that I've shown you guys, those will also be listed down below. So again, make sure you go ahead and click the link down below and head over to GlassesUSA.com for 65% off of your new pair of glasses. Thank you again so much to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring today's video. And as with most of my videos, I will be taking off my glasses for the remainder of the video because I know that a lot of people are bothered by this glare that I get in these glasses. But with all of that being said, let's get into today's case. Today, we are going to be discussing the murder of Brittney Gargol. Brittney Gargol was born on August 31st, 1996 to her parents Suzanne Gargol and Everett Hilbum in Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan in Canada, and she had three stepsisters named Courtney, Tristan, and Victoria. She was described as being adventurous, independent, strong-willed, and outspoken. She was also incredibly hardworking at maintaining a job since she was 16. She juggled schoolwork in addition to two jobs, one at Vern's Pizza and the other at the Dorman Concordia Club, which was a job that she really loved. She attended Newtana Collegiate and planned to go to college to get a degree in business management. Brittney was an outdoors girl. She loved snowboarding, camping, and boating. But she also had her girly side to her. She loved fashion, shopping, and showing off her outfits to all of her friends. She was a very popular girl and had a ton of friends, and she absolutely loved her family and spent as much time with them as she possibly could. One of her closest friends was named Cheyenne Rose Antoine. Now, Cheyenne seemed to have a pretty rough time growing up. So both of Cheyenne's parents went to the residential schools in Canada, which were historically known for being incredibly abusive towards the children who attended them, before being shut down in 1998. These schools were built with the idea of taking Indigenous children away from their families and then put them in Christian boarding schools so that they could assimilate to Canadian culture. Over 150,000 children are thought to have attended these schools. Some records say that they were abused so badly that they have estimates between 3,200 and 30,000 school-related deaths. These estimates are so wide because these schools worked very hard to try and cover up these deaths. This is just a very short summary of these schools, but the people who attended these schools are subject to generational turmoil and trauma caused by attending these schools. Because of Cheyenne's parents attending these schools, they struggled with addiction when they were pretty young. This resulted in Cheyenne being put into foster care when she was just 2 years old, and she stayed in the system until she was 18 years old. Over her time of being in the foster care system, she was reportedly sexually and physically abused numerous times. She really did try to put this behind her, though. She refused to talk about the abuse that she had suffered for so many years, and even tried to create a relationship with her mother, but her mother was still using drugs. When Cheyenne was 15 years old, her mother passed away. Obviously, this was very devastating and traumatic for Cheyenne, and she didn't really know how to cope with it. She started hanging out with a very bad crowd and started using meth to cope with her issues. When she met Brittney and she started hanging out with her, she was in the worst depths of her substance use. So on March 25th of 2015, Brittney and her friend Cheyenne Rose posted a photo to Brittney's Facebook. Again, the two had been pretty good friends together, and that night they were planning to go out for a night of drinking. But after this photo was posted, we don't know the exact timeline for what led up to the murder. However, we have what Cheyenne initially told police happened that evening. So Cheyenne said that after getting ready that night, the two headed out to Manchester's bar on the corner of 33rd Street and Idlewill Drive. After this, she said that they went to a house party on Avenue 1. Then they ended up going to the Colonial Pub and Grill on 8th Street at around 4 a.m. Cheyenne said that Brittney asked an unknown man to borrow his lighter before inviting him to hang out with them. After this, Cheyenne said that she separated from Brittney and got dropped off at a senior living facility called the Lighthouse in downtown Saskatchewan to visit her uncle. After this, Cheyenne said that Brittney left to go hang out with this unknown man, and after this, she didn't see her again. Later that evening, Cheyenne posted to Brittney's Facebook wall saying, "Where are you, Brittney? I haven't heard from you. I hope you make it home safe. I need my phone. Love ya." But then a horrific discovery was made. Police received a 911 call regarding the body of a young woman being found on a rural road called Valley Road near Cedar Villa Estates. The caller said that the woman appeared to be lifeless and she was cold to the touch. She was found to be wearing no shoes and she was lying on her back. Police arrived and found the body of a woman who had clear signs of being strangled. But police didn't know who this body belonged to or what had happened. All they really had was a timeline given to them by witnesses, and based off of what they said, police believe that her body must have been placed there sometime between 5:20 a.m. and 5:40 a.m. on the morning of March 25th. All they could do was release this woman's distinctive tattoos to the public to get help in identifying her. She had 2 star tattoos on her left hand and a lion on her shoulder. They also found a belt laying near her body, so they released an image of this to try and get people thinking. Shortly after this, police received a call from someone at the Lighthouse saying that there was a woman there who had information about Brittney, who was the body that was found on the road. The person in this phone call was Cheyenne. Cheyenne told police the story of what had happened that night, saying the timeline that we discussed earlier, before she said she went to the Lighthouse to go visit her uncle. She was still with him at the Lighthouse, so she handed the phone to her uncle so that he could back up her story to police and tell them that she was in fact at the Lighthouse that night and nothing else out of the ordinary happened. And everything the uncle was saying matched up exactly with what Cheyenne told them. However, police quickly realized that Cheyenne may be hiding more than they initially thought. When they went to check security video at the Colonial Pub and Grill, there was no sign of Brittney, Cheyenne, or Brittney's white Cavalier that they drove that night. They also checked surveillance video from the Lighthouse, and this showed that Cheyenne and her uncle had never met up that night. So clearly, she was hiding something from investigators that she did not want them to know about. So police went ahead and talked to the uncle, and they told him that they checked the surveillance video and it did not match up with what he was saying. So the uncle changed the story and told them what Cheyenne really told him. He told police that Cheyenne had told him that her and Brittney had been staying with, quote, 2 black guys at a motel room that night when a fight broke out, something over cocaine. Cheyenne said that after this fight, she went into the bathroom, but then when she came back out, she saw that Brittney was laying on the bed, lifeless, with marks all over her neck. Her uncle went on to say that these 2 men pointed a gun at her and forced her to take part in covering up the murder. So she did, and after doing this, she went to her uncle for help in trying to cover for her. Over the course of the next few months, Cheyenne was in police custody, but they weren't for anything related to Brittney. They were for different charges. But while she was there, police took that as an opportunity to interview her. But police say that she was completely uncooperative and would not talk to them about Brittney's death whatsoever. Then, 6 months after Brittney's death, Cheyenne had commented on a photo that the 2 posted together to share her condolences. She wrote, quote, "Aw, I miss you so much, Bert. Wish heaven had visiting hours so I could come see you, but I'm so glad you came and visited me in my dream last night. Woke up with tears in my eyes. I'm blessed to have met you and have you be a part of my life. Still can't believe those last 2 days were going to be the last 2 days I got to be able to hug you, talk to you, and laugh with you. I will cherish and hold all our good memories we've had over the years since grade 9 until we meet again. Looking forward to the day I see you again. Say hello to my mommy up there for me. That dream felt so damn real, and you were all bubbly and happy like you always were. I love you so much, Brittney Jane. I miss you so much. You were way too young to go, gone but never forgotten. You were truly an angel on earth, but I guess God needed you up there. You always believed in me, and I will make you proud, my girl. Rest in paradise, angel." However, a few weeks after this, Brittney's family went to police with a story that they had heard from a witness. According to Brittney's family, Cheyenne had come to this woman's house at around 4 to 5 a.m. on the night that Brittney and her had gone out and the night before Brittney's body was found. And at that point, she was drunk and she was absolutely hysterical. She was crying and freaking out, and Cheyenne had apparently told this witness that she had just hit her friend with an object and then choked her during an argument, and she said that her friend was not waking up. The woman said that she looked outside past Cheyenne and saw that there was another woman who appeared to have been badly beaten. She was inside of the car and was slumped up against the window. That witness was later in contact with Brittney's family and the police, and she said that she told Cheyenne to leave that night, but right after this happened, she was too scared to initially report this to police. Over the course of the next 2 years, police continued to investigate and follow up on any lead that they found. One huge thing that police noticed was the selfie that Cheyenne and Brittney took just hours before Brittney's murder. She was wearing a black belt with weaving on it in the selfie. A belt with the same exact color and weaving was actually found near Brittney's body. So they sent this belt off for some DNA testing, and they found that both Brittney and Cheyenne's DNA were on the belt, which was unusual because given that Cheyenne was the one wearing the belt, only her DNA should be on it. Now, of course, this is not a perfect science. It's mostly just a theory, because if Brittney had worn that belt in the past at any point, her DNA very could possibly be on it. So this wasn't perfect, but it definitely was a huge lead in the case. Additionally, after the autopsy was completed, the medical examiner determined that her cause of death was ligature strangulation. So police had the theory that Cheyenne may have strangled Brittney with this belt. However, they were never really able to prove this. They also went ahead and examined Brittney's car. They found out that it had a bunch of dirt and long grass under the wheel wells of the car, as if it had been driven through a ditch or a field. In the car, they also found Cheyenne's cell phone. On the cell phone, it showed that her phone had connected to a McDonald's Wi-Fi at 4:30 in the morning, the day that all of this happened. She also had several photos of Brittney on this phone from the night of the murder, and of course, there was a bunch of pictures of Cheyenne wearing this black belt. So based on all of this, in addition to her own alleged confession to that witness, Cheyenne was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. However, she initially would not admit to what she did. Police said that for the longest time, she was stoic. She showed no emotion, and despite increasing interrogation and increasing pressure from police, she never broke. But eventually, after seeing all of the mounting evidence against her, she did eventually take responsibility for Brittney's death. But she said that she actually does not even remember killing her. So the timeline that she was now giving for what happened that night was that the two were using various drugs such as marijuana and alcohol that night at a house party. But she says that after leaving the house party, she does not remember much. She remembers being in that McDonald's parking lot, which we know that she was because she was connected to their Wi-Fi at around 4:30 a.m. She said that she remembered Brittney getting upset and frustrated with Cheyenne for whatever reason, then taking away her phone. Cheyenne said that after this, she does not remember anything. Cheyenne's defense points to her history of abuse while growing up, as well as her severe drug use, for reasons that she may have snapped during an argument and hurt her friend. The defense said that they truly believe that she does have these memory gaps and that she genuinely does not remember the murder. They said that it was a combination of drug intoxication as well as shock that led her to not remembering any of this. Police said that they were able to use this Facebook post of Cheyenne asking Brittney where she was, in addition to this picture of Cheyenne wearing that black belt the night that they went out. They used this to sort of establish a timeline, even though Cheyenne said that she couldn't remember anything. So even though Cheyenne was initially charged with second-degree murder, she instead pled guilty to charges of manslaughter. She did take responsibility for Brittney's death, but continues to say that she does not remember the act of strangulation itself. As for the charges of manslaughter instead of second-degree murder, because that seems to kind of make sense in this case, that, she got angry and lashed out and killed her. The reason that they're not going for this is because the prosecution basically said that they would not be able to prove that she had intent to kill her during this argument. Basically saying that, yeah, her actions caused her death, but that doesn't mean that she meant to cause her death on purpose. So because of this, Cheyenne was sentenced to only 7 years behind bars for Brittney's death. Cheyenne's defense attorney explained that when they do the sentencing, they take a lot of different things into consideration. They have to balance the severity of the crime as well as their life circumstances. They said that the fact that she even pled guilty to begin with led her to getting a lighter sentence. However, the frustrating thing about this entire case was the fact that she misled investigators for 2 years. She tried to take them on a wild goose chase by saying that she went to all of these different bars, lying about her alibi, getting her uncle to lie for her, being uncooperative, and having a very long list of prior convictions. So that in and of itself shows me that she knew what she did. She knew that she strangled her. She knew that she caused her death, and she tried to hide it. She was at least with it enough to know that I'm going to get in trouble for this. I don't want to get in trouble for this. I killed someone and I need someone else to cover for me now. But even though she had been uncooperative and stoic and emotionless for 2 years, at her trial and hearing, she said that she felt horrible for what she did, and she said that she wishes it never happened. She didn't give her own statement, but through her lawyer, she said, quote, "I will never forgive myself. Nothing I say or do will ever bring her back. I'm very, very sorry. It shouldn't have ever happened." Her lawyer added, quote, "I think it was very evident for anyone who is in the courtroom that she feels immense regret and remorse for what has happened. This was her best friend, and the fact that she is no longer here as a result of her own actions weighs heavily on her, and she's going to have to live with that and deal with those issues as she moves forward." When Brittney's family was giving their victim impact statements, Brittney's stepmother explained that the two were just starting to bond and to get to know each other and create this close relationship before her life was taken from her. Brittney also had a 5-year-old stepsister who is devastated and just so confused. She added that Cheyenne was Brittney's friend. Brittney trusted her, and she questioned why Cheyenne couldn't just take her to the hospital after this happened, call 911, do something. Instead, she just left her on the street to die and did nothing about it. Either way, the judge said that Cheyenne will be a part of a prison program that will help her deal with her issues and her demons. The judge said, quote, "Miss Antoine, I sincerely hope that while you are in custody, you will take the time to address some of your personal issues, as painful as they may be. Honor your friend by becoming a positive, productive, law-abiding member of the community. You owe it to her to persevere." So that is pretty much where the case lies. This was yet another case that was really sensationalized just because they took a selfie before the murder. Brittney's family was really shocked and horrified when they read headlines that said, "The Facebook selfie killer," when in reality, Brittney was killed by her best friend for no reason. And to this day, Cheyenne says that she does not remember anything and she's never given a reason or a motive for all of this. This case is very similar to a couple of cases that we've covered in the past few weeks. Alexa Cannon, who was murdered by her best friend for absolutely no reason, and Alexis Crawford, who was killed by her roommate over pretty stupid and unreasonable reasons. To this day, we have absolutely no idea why Cheyenne killed her friend. It's just so absolutely frustrating for these families to just have to live on with their life with no answers and no reason for these senseless crimes. My heart goes out to Brittney and her family. I think that this case and Alexa's case can tell us that you need to be so very careful when you decide to become involved with drugs. I do have sympathy for what Cheyenne and her parents went through, but at the end of the day, everyone is responsible for their own actions, no matter what they went through in their past. Everyone is responsible for working through their own issues and their own demons. I'm sorry if any of you disagree, but I find it frustrating that somebody can get a lesser sentence for taking somebody else's life just because they had their own tough life. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on the 7-year sentence because to me it simply is not long enough. She was sentenced in 2017, so she'll be out by 2024, if not sooner. That is 2 years from now. It's scary to know that someone like that can soon be out on the streets. All I can say is that I really hope 7 years is long enough for her to work on herself and figure out how to go on with her life and not take any more lives with her. But that is where I'm going to end today's video, and now I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think her motive was? Or do you think this really was an accident of some sort of argument breaking out and going wrong? Let's discuss in the comments. If you liked this video, please make sure to go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I put out new true crime and mystery videos every single week. Don't forget to turn the notification bell to on so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Make sure you go ahead to glassesusa.com for 65% off of your first order. Make sure to follow my Twitter and Instagram. Both will be linked down below. And if you have absolutely any case suggestions, please make sure to send those suggestions over to RachelShannonCases@gmail.com. With that, I hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe and stay healthy. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.